Okay, everybody. First off, just want to say, if any of you missed the Eugene deal live stream, you should definitely check it out. I found it really intriguing. We have an eyewitness who talks about what he heard that night, what he saw that night, and he has some very valuable insights. And so for any of you that haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. I'll put a link down in the notes. And today, what I really wanted to talk about was traits of a serial killer. I mean, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. These murders, the Tupac and Biggie murders, and there are a lot of associated murders that are tied to them. Well, that's serial killer stuff. And what would a serial killer do? A serial killer, number one, would collect trinkets, like collecting Tupac's medallion that was bloody, and running around the death row offices and showing off the bloody medallion, and then giving it to Tupac's mother. What else would a serial killer do? Well, a serial killer would insert himself into the investigations, and this person rolls up to Las Vegas with each one of the death row people that gets interviewed by the Las Vegas police. Not only does he take them to the interviews, but he sits in all of those interviews. That's something a serial killer would do. A serial killer would also collect the evidence, all of the evidence about the murder. And so when you see a Psycho Mike tape released, that tells us that this person has access to the case files at LAPD. And that's something that even Russell Poole didn't have. Russell Poole didn't have Psycho Mike's tape when he walked out of LAPD. He heard Psycho Mike's interview. He interviewed Psycho Mike, but he didn't take that cassette tape out with him that I know of. He may have it buried somewhere, in his storage or something, but I never saw the Psycho Mike actual cassette tape from LAPD. And that's the kind of thing that a serial killer would do. And now we have a serial killer who is reveling in and celebrating the date of the death of Biggie Smalls. That's something a serial killer would do. And so these are the kind of the things. He can't talk about these cases enough. He continues to talk about them. He continues to intimidate witnesses. In the Snoop trial, we found out that LAPD cops and Compton police intimidated the witnesses, and those witnesses evaporated and would not testify at trial. So clearly, these are people that are skilled at intimidating witnesses, and we've seen that in last night's live stream. I haven't listened to it. I've just gotten reports about what's in it, and it's witness intimidation. It's obstruction of justice. That's what serial killers do. And so we see that there is a serial killer that's on the loose. And will he ever face justice? Probably not. It's probably not good, because as you can hear from things he says in his live stream, he is somebody who knows how to use leverage. He uses leverage against people. He's collected leverage on people, and he's got friends in high places, or at least people who are intimidated enough of him that he has leverage on, that he's able to delay sentencing, and he's able to delay trial dates, and he's able to push things off and minimize things. And that's kind of what's happened in this case. This case came out of Tennessee, or he would have never been charged. He's got people in the DA's office that cover for him here locally. He's got judges that he's got leverage on locally. He's got police that he has leverage on locally. And his police are the ones that have done the cover-ups in this case and in other cases, because it all leads back to LAPD, as we've seen. And we're going to continue to investigate this stuff. You can see from the El Rey, his father calls over to the LAPD and tells him, hey, you want to clear this case and you don't want to prosecute. And so that case doesn't get prosecuted. It's a DA reject because his father called over and had this case rejected. And there are other things. The Mark Anthony Bell case does not get prosecuted. That is another DA reject. And it's one of those things that we've seen with the Compton corruption report. Those 96 kilos of cocaine that went missing out of the evidence locker in Compton, that was a case that was filed. It was sent over to the DA's office. It was a DA reject case. Burrell and Kelly were the ones that were the callers on that case. The case gets sent over, and it's a DA reject case. The evidence is sent off to the FBI, but never makes it to the FBI to be destroyed and disappears en route. And then after that, Burrell and Kelly are murdered, and there is a person that is pinned with that murder. And I'm told by people in Compton that he did not commit that murder, but he got embroiled in this web of deceit and bullshit that goes on with this case. And so this is serial killer stuff. This is a serial killer who inserts himself every step of the way in every possible investigation, and he tries to intimidate the people that are pushing for the truth in these cases. We're close, guys, to the truth. Now, there's some things that I think maybe you could help me with. Maybe you could help me with trying to find out more about some of these other people that are involved on the peripheral of this. One person talked about how his kin was targeted by the Compton Police Department. I'd like more information on that. One person talked about how he has relatives and friends and what have you that have been targeted by the corrupt Compton Police Department. Now, not all of the officers that were in Compton were corrupt, but the narcotics gang officers definitely were corrupt. And that's all part of the Compton Police Corruption Report. And we're going to dig into more and more of this as we continue this investigation. And we are on the trail of a serial killer. There's a number of people who have gone missing. We have Fred Miller, who says that the drug trade is controlled. We have Fred Miller, who says that the drug trade is controlled by this person. And he also says, and Fred Miller is a #1 detective at LAPD, he also says that this serial killer is the one who organizes and decides who lives and who dies in that drug trade in Compton. And so we will continue this investigation. It looks like we're getting closer and closer to the truth. But whatever you guys can do to help, we need your help trying to get to the truth. Again, thank you all for listening. Please share these videos with other people. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share these videos. And send over whatever documents you can find, whatever witnesses you can find that know pieces of the truth. We are patching this quilt together. And if you get a chance again, listen to Eugene Deal's live stream, the one he just did, because it is amazing to hear the crowd asking him questions that detectives would never ask, and him answering those questions. And those questions really, there were some questions I never thought to ask that Eugene Deal addressed, and I just thought it was a great live stream. So more later. Thank you all again.